Hello, everybody. Today, for our assignment, we are going to be working on notes over Hinduism. And so, again, we're talking about Eastern religions now. And so we are talking about Hinduism. You should have done the 2 articles this week already. And we'll go ahead and get started with these notes as well. So make sure you've downloaded the PDF from Canvas and that you are filling the PDF, the Hinduism note taker PDF, out as we go through the slides. So some important vocabulary to remember. Brahman is a single spiritual power that Hindus believe lives in everything. So it's kind of like this spiritual, almost like force that they think is in everything. Reincarnation is the rebirth of the soul in the body of another living being. Dharma is the religious and moral duties of Hindus. Ahisma is the Hindu idea of nonviolence. Moksha is freedom from life's worries and the end of the cycle of reincarnation. And karma is the effects that good or bad actions have on a person's soul. So you might want to go ahead and pause the video here so that you can copy these all down, and I'll give you just a second. So if you want to pause now and then move on when you're ready to keep going through the slides. So this is a map kind of showing you the area from which Hinduism spread, and different religions that were present around the same time as well. And so we've talked about Islam already over here. Islam was in this kind of area and arrived in the 700s AD, and it's the main religion of Pakistan and Bangladesh, and approximately 30% of the population celebrates Islam. Hinduism is a blend of native beliefs and the religion of the Aryan people. It developed over thousands of years. So it didn't just instantly happen. It kind of developed over time. Hindus worship many deities. Deities is like another word that you can think of for like gods. But they believe that each one is part of one universal spirit called Brahman, and approximately 63% of the population are Hindus. So going over some of the geography, the purple shaded in area is where the early Hinduism can be found. And so this area is where early Hinduism was found around 900 BC. And what kinds of things can you think about when we ask this question right here? Describe where the religion of Hinduism developed. So obviously we're in the area that is now India. The Himalayan mountains are right here. You can see we've talked about civilizations. Here's where Harappa was, and here's where Mohenjo-Daro was. And then you can also see the rivers. And what do we know about, rivers and civilizations and how rivers form around civilizations? And then this area, the area that's outlined in green, is the area where the Indus Valley civilization was, which we know because Harappa is here and Mohenjo-Daro is here. And so just kind of thinking about all the things that we've talked about so far this semester, different civilizations, different landforms, and now religion, and how they developed. So Hinduism's beginnings. Aryan prayers were passed down through generations. The Aryans are an ancient group of people from the Caucasus. So their prayers were passed down through generations. As Aryan culture mixed with India's existing cultures, new ideas and beliefs became part of the Vedas, the Hindu holy books, plural books. They don't have one single book. And from this blending of ideas came one of the world's oldest living religions, Hinduism. Like we talked about, Hinduism began around the same time that Judaism began, about 2000 BCE. All right. Hinduism grows more complex over time as Hinduism has developed over 3,500 to 4,000 years. That's the estimate about how long it's been around. It has absorbed many beliefs from other religions. Hinduism has become very complex over time as a result. It has become very complex over time as a result. There are many different traditions and practices, and Hindus believe that because people are different, there must be many different ways of approaching God and spirituality. So Hinduism is an extremely complex religion, and it can be difficult to understand at times. So we're going to do our best to understand how it has spread and developed and changed over time, and how that has impacted people and the world and history. So the gods of Hinduism. Hindus believe that there is one universal spirit or power that exists in everything, and that spirit is known as the Brahman. And so Brahman is like literally in everything. There's one universal spirit, one power that exists everywhere. But Hinduism still has many different gods and goddesses. And so the various gods and goddesses of Hinduism are thought to represent different aspects of the Brahman. And so Hinduism is kind of weird because, not weird, but different because, with our other religions, we've talked about monotheism and polytheism. Hinduism could be said that it's polytheistic because they celebrate many different gods, but they do believe in one, like monotheism, they believe in one spiritual power. And so it's different from the others that we've talked about so far in that way. The Trinity is the three most important gods in Hinduism. They're known as the Trinity or Trinity. And they are Brahma, the creator, Vishnu, the preserver, and Shiva, the destroyer. And so Brahma created the world but does not take part in it now. Vishnu cares for people and appears in different forms. And Shiva is the one who destroys and brings life and is, in charge of reincarnation. So, reincarnation. Hindus believe when a person dies, the soul is reborn into a new body. The soul is eternal. And when you're reborn, it depends on your karma. And so if you had good karma, you can be reborn into a better life. And so your soul just keeps being reborn into a new body. Karma is earned by the good or bad actions of a person during their lives. Bad karma means being born into a lower place. And so if you think about the caste system that they had, you'd be born into a lower caste. Good karma means there's a chance that the next life will be better. So you could be, in a higher caste, or you could just have a more pleasant life if you had good karma. And so karma is earned by being faithful to one's dharma, and dharma is one's purpose or duty. So if you are being faithful to your purpose or duty, that is how karma is earned. This is determined by a person's caste, and it is carried out without complaint. If one has earned good karma by following dharma, they can improve in the next life. And the end goal is moksha, which is an escape from the cycle of reincarnation and being reunited with the Brahman. And so moksha is where you're no longer being reincarnated. You're reunited with Brahman, and you don't have to worry about being reborn over and over. And moksha is like the highest, reincarnation. Some other important beliefs. Hindus believe the idea of nonviolence. So think about Gandhi, like we've talked about already this week. Gandhi was peaceful and believed in peaceful transformations. And so this idea is called ahisma, and that is that all living things are believed to be a part of the Brahman, thus deserving respect. And milk cows are actually thought to be Brahman and are respected. So in Hinduism, they respect milk cows significantly. And so what does this picture over here to the right suggest about the importance of cows? So, like I said, obviously they thought that they were important. So we can see that in the illustration. And so the god next to the cow is Krishna, an avatar of Vishnu. We talked about Krishna earlier this week in our What is Hinduism reading. The caste system in Hinduism. The caste system in Hinduism. To achieve moksha and become one with Brahman, the universal spirit, and a Hindu would need to have good karma. They could do that by following their dharma, the religious and moral duties of a Hindu. They should also build good karma with ahimsa, or non-violence, so being peaceful. And as they were reincarnated to higher positions, they would eventually achieve moksha. So this is the caste system. Untouchables are at the bottom, and that is like an outcast group. And then you have servants and like slaves in this next group from the bottom. And then you have merchants and landowners. Warriors would be the next class up, and at the top we have the priests. For daily lives, how they worship. God is one, but wise people know it by many names. So Hindus often choose to worship one or a few gods and do so at shrines in their homes. And so it's not like the Western religions that were monotheistic. They're not worshiping one god. They're picking which gods they worship in their own homes. Some holidays that Hindus celebrate. Diwali is the festival of lights, and Holi is the festival of colors. And there is a video to watch. We're going to watch that during class, but just to keep this video short, I'm not going to include that in this particular video, but I will embed this at another point. So if you need to watch the video, if you are not able to come to class, you can do that as well. And that is everything that I have for you today. So make sure you get all these notes filled out and turned into Canvas.